All right. So, welcome everybody to another episode of my channel. I know it's been a couple of years. Obviously, some changes. You can see I have braces in my mouth, which is why I'm talking funny, but it's all good. So, I have with me a special guest, a special friend, for what, 2 years almost? Right? 2 years almost.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
so.
So,
That's crazy.
yeah, it is. It's because you guys, yeah, about 2 years. Time flies. Time flies. But yeah, go ahead and
Yeah.
introduce yourself, my special guest, my friend. Tell them your name.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Magali, but everyone calls me Maggie. So I'm from Argentina. I met Zach when I was in the US 2 years ago. That's crazy. It's such a long time.
Yeah,
For
yes.
my exchange program because of uni. And Zach in May of that same year, 2019.
Yep, May of
So
2019.
yeah, we've been buddies since then.
Exactly. Yep, yep. And yeah, so we're in two different countries, two different parts of, well, I guess it's on the same part of the world, but like at the top and at the bottom. So if it's a little bit of lag, that's why, because
Exactly.
we're quite a distance away. Um, but yeah, so thank you for being here, and we've already talked and everything. So I just wanted to spend 15 to 20 minutes kind of talking about just our experiences and just what we took away from um, the trip of visiting each other's countries. So just to give a quick background, because obviously we know and we talk, but the people watching this, they might be new to the channel, haven't seen like my Argentina vlog. So um, real quick, if you could just give like, a quick summary of like the places you visited and the states, and then just like kind of one or two things you liked about it or that surprised you about it.
Okay. I don't know. I think in the US, and I visited North Carolina, and I stayed in Winston-Salem, and then I visited Greensboro, and I also had like a few hours in New York City, so that was fun. Um, so
I
yeah,
haven't even been
things
to
that
New York
surprised
City.
me the
So.
most. Yeah, I did on my own. It's crazy. I loved it. There's so much that I still want to see, but it was like a very short kind of thing in New York because there was a few hours in between flights, so I only had like, I don't know, 10 hours over there. So it was fun. So things that surprised me over there, the amount of shops, for example, is just
Yeah,
insane.
a lot of shopping,
It's
a
just
lot of shopping.
so crazy. Yeah, and don't worry, I'm a shopaholic myself, so it was hard to restrain myself. Also with the currency and stuff, like trying not to cry at Walmart while buying, I don't know, a piece of chocolate or something.
Yeah,
Because for the people that don't know, pesos is super, super. How do you say it? Like because
it's
of
like,
like the
yes,
exchange rate.
yeah, the exchange rate is like very off balance between like the American dollar and then like the peso.
Exactly. So yeah, good for you guys, but bad for us. Um,
Yeah.
and another thing that surprised me is like I visited like community colleges, and they were so big compared to our like my uni, for example. It's super super like small uni. You've been there, so you know what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
But the amount of things, I mean, it's get it because you guys have to pay tuition and things, like it's expensive
Yeah.
to study over there, and here we have like public schools, so maybe the amount of resources that we have, they're not like as fancy as the ones that you have. But either way, it was an amazing experience, and I loved it. I can't wait to go back.
Yeah, exactly. And we've talked about it like other times about trying to schedule trips and save and stuff, and how you talked about like it would take 2 to 3 years just because how imbalanced like the exchange rate is between like the dollar
Exactly.
here and the pesos, which definitely sucks. But yeah, I would say for me, so yeah, you guys came like the beginning of 2019, and we went to Argentina in May of 2019, so later that year, and it was like beginning of like summer here, but it was like beginning of fall down there, so it was kind of chilly. So yeah, let's see. How can I summarize mine? Because I have so much to say. Like but I want to try to I want to try to like
Yeah.
fit it in. But let's see. So yeah, we went from here to Miami, and then Miami to Peru, and then Peru to Cordoba, and then we spent like a few hours in Cordoba, like touring the downtown part, and then we did I think like 2.5 hour bus drive to Villa Maria, and then we spent like the next week there at the university, and like staying in the hostel, and then we met you guys, you, Valentina, Javi, Ganza, who else? There's a couple other people, but those are like the main
Lucia,
people.
Daniel.
Lucia, yes, exactly, yeah. And that was cool. Obviously we have many memories and like videos and photos of the party, and then just like hanging out and whatnot. But I think a couple things that surprised me. Well, for one, the amount of Spanish that I learned down there surprised me because, we've talked before about like my desire to like try to pick up fluently Spanish, and obviously you're great in English, like, and you said you've been studying it a long time, and like props to you for real, because I want to learn Spanish definitely like 100%. But one thing,
you were super good, so don't worry.
Thank you. And for people who don't know, we text and talk in Spanish sometimes. Like I texted her the other day, and we had some conversation, and it was good. I tried to keep it as best as I could. But like being down there, like walking around, it was like very easy to like pick up Spanish and like certain words. And I learned a lot versus like being here in the States and taking Spanish classes. I didn't really learn that much in the class, but once I was like around you guys and around people that was like, their main language was Spanish, and like I had to speak Spanish to communicate, like it made me learn like faster, and I think it was good. The other thing I would say, and you'll probably find this funny, was like the amount of dogs that was like just everywhere. Like I didn't expect it. Like Laura, she didn't tell us, like prepare us to be like, it's a bunch of dogs here. It's just dogs everywhere. I didn't expect it. It was cool though. I made friends with a few, and I have a video and a picture with a few of them that were like really nice. But it was really interesting how it's just like, dogs, and because if I was living there, I'd probably try to like take one as a pet or something, because I love dogs. I'm a dog person, so that was surprising to me. I didn't expect that, but I thought it was cool. It was cool,
Love that. And I don't know if you guys ever have like dogs in uni. Did you see them?
At uni at Villa Maria?
Yeah,
in the lunchroom they had dogs like sitting down.
Yes, and so funny because sometimes you're in the middle of a class and a dog just walks in and it's like, okay, let's stop everything we're doing, just look at the dog.
Exactly, and it's like it walks in like it belongs in the class. Like I need to learn too. Like it's very
yeah, exactly.
yeah. But yeah, so that's cool. So yeah, that's to give insight to people that don't really know about our experiences and how we connected through that. So my next thing I want to talk about, when you before you guys came here and before we came, to Argentina, I'm sure it was like in your head, like an expectation or an idea that you had of like, okay, this is how this place is gonna look. This is how people might interact with me, or how, I might feel when visiting North Carolina or visiting New York. Um, but when you got here, like, did the reality of like being here, did it meet your expectations, or like did it exceed it? And I can start and go ahead and lead this, because for me, I didn't really know what to expect coming to Argentina. Like, I've never even, like, I kid you not, that's why we was joking. I haven't even been to New York City, and that's like,
Yeah.
it's like 5 hours away from where I'm at up north. I haven't even been there, so it's like going to a whole other country. I did not know what to expect, but when I got there, I loved it. I wish we could have spent more time. Like, all my expectations that I had before going there, it exceeded it like times 10, times 20, because it was just like I didn't know what to expect, but it was everything that I thought it might be and more. Making great friends, good relationships, videos and memories to last, and then hopefully being able to reunite again, and that's what was, fun for me. So yeah, what do you think? Like, did you have an idea of the States before you got here? How it would be?
Well, we have like, I mean, over here we consume like a lot of American culture,
Mm-hmm.
because of movies and music, and I feel like we had a little bit more like idea what to expect compared to you guys with
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
Um, and I've been to the U.S. before. I've been there 2010 because of my quinceañera trip, but it was like a whole different experience.
Yeah.
And I think it just exceeded my expectations because of, I don't know, I mean, us from here, I think we feel like all American people are like super busy and like super like on on the rush, and so maybe they don't have like time to be friendly. I don't know, we're used to being very like friendly and, I don't know, touchy and being in each other's place all the time, and
Exactly.
just space all the time, us.
Yeah.
So I didn't expect for such a welcoming community. I mean, I just loved there. I loved it so much. I feel like you guys, and also Brittany and her family, I stayed with them, and they treated me like family from the beginning. So that made the experience super more enjoyable, just feeling that thing of being like welcome and wanting to be there. So yeah, super super thankful, first of all, and yeah, I think that just exceeded every expectations that I have from the trip.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny when you was talking about, bringing you in like you were family, because in the States, it's kind of like this idea that in the South, like where we were at, when you guys visited, it's like more of a family feel and like more open. And then in the North, I mean, this is what like they say. I don't think it's totally true, but in the North, people are like reserved and kind of unfriendly and cold. Like in New York and like DC and like up north in the country. But in Argentina, I would say it was interesting because, when you know somebody, you're friendly with somebody, you greet them and you kiss, or you like hug or you hold hands, or it's like very affectionate and it's cool. But, and that's something I enjoy, because in my family, that's how we are. Like, we hug each other, we kiss each other. And, a lot of people are like that, but a lot of people aren't like that in the United States, where you see somebody that some people might not even speak, So it was that was a good contrast to see, and that was something that I definitely enjoyed. So just kind of talking about the current state of our countries. And we talked about this before about some of
Yeah,
like the laws that was going on in Argentina and with COVID and some of the stuff here. Um, and people who are watching this that, either from Argentina, from somewhere else in the world, or even from the United States, they might know what's going on, or they might not, with COVID, definitely they should know what's going on. But with you guys, how's the like currency exchange? Is it still as bad as when you was talking about the imbalance?
yeah, yeah. Thing is, we have like it's like the two sides of a coin. We have a lot of things that are like part of the state, for example, like schools and
Mhm.
health. So that's like a really good thing. Uh, but on the other hand, we have like extreme like taxes. So that doesn't really help the exchange,
Mhm.
and we have inflation and every like economic problem that you can think of
Yeah.
because of that. So our current exchange rate, I think, is 150. I
Mhm.
think, I'm not really sure.
Okay.
$1, 150 pesos because of taxes and stuff.
Yeah.
I think the official one is like $1, 90 pesos, but
Mm.
I'm not really sure because there are a lot of uh, things and taxes and stuff like that that makes the rate go higher. So yeah, it's pretty bad, but as I always say, it's like bad for us but good for you. So you can visit Argentina with less money and have like a blast over here.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, that's true. We joked about this before, just like how I'm like I might go to Argentina and like buy a house or something and just live there.
Exactly. Fun. And so thankful that I got to meet you. Uh,
Yes.
Between our it's such a good thing to have friends made in trips like this. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
thank you.
And that's a to anybody watching who's wants to travel or who wants to, go abroad, like going abroad, it creates friendships that, will last a lifetime like this and with like, the others who you met. So it's definitely worth it no matter the cost, like or how
Yeah,
many years you have to save, it's totally worth it, you know?
do good.
Yeah.
And also like even travel, like consider traveling alone because it's like a great experience too. And like you said, even if you go to a country like where you're not like very familiar with the language, it's super, you get really used to it when you're here or whatever you are, because you live the language, you live the culture. So I guess it makes it like super much like just easier to learn and to like absorb everything that you see. So it's amazing. I highly recommend it, and just travel when we
Exactly.
can.
Yes, exactly when we
But
can
do it.
travel. So yeah, thank you everybody. Um, you know, like, comment, subscribe, this on the YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.